Hello everyone, welcome to Leadpool Racing's, welcome to Leadpool Racing's Twitch channel, but welcome to Cyanide Light Series Round 4 at Road Atlanta. I am your host, the owner of the Leadpool Racing's. My mic volume is as high as it gets. I'm gonna have to turn everything else down. I've got all the gains up. There we go. Maybe that'll be a little bit better. Regardless, I am your host today, Captain Matt whatever you want to call me, from Let Pour Racing. We are hosting today's Cyanide Light Series, round 4. And we seem to be having, we seem to get even quite the grid today. 14 drivers thus far on the starting grid. So, what has been happening in the series since the last time we streamed? Let's have a look then. We have the driver standings. We have Sarah at the top, followed by Johan, Azam, Vasily, Victor, Jaco, Daniel, Danny Tatui, Luca, Victor Ersen, followed by Viggo, Iker, Tori Pushman, Juniper Baker, Isaac, Emmanuel, Isoplo, Roman. I'm gonna leave that up for a little bit. And in terms of team standings, we have team default. I would love if this thing looped instead. Thank you. Team default winning with P1, followed by Let Pour Racing, Team Yo-Yo in P3, Lifeless in P4, Akale Racing 5, 6, 7 Blue Moon and Cyanide Racing, and P8, P9 Barbie and SBO Racing. Some of these names are new, so the standings most likely don't reflect the performance through the season thus far. Unfortunately, I missed last race due to my vacation to Brands Hatch. So, both you and me will be going into this, well, a little bit fresh. Thank you, Harold and King Flash, for the follows. Right, 1 minute left on practice. So let's see. Let's go back up to trackside and see how our drivers are stacking up. At the moment, in the practice, Johan Karolczak is setting up the well, the times are light. He's half a second faster than P2 Casserole. ACTV, if you would like to give me the actual info, thank you. Never plays ball. Right, Johan Karolczak half a second ahead of Casserole, with Sarah trailing by 1.6 seconds. And we know she's a quick driver. The current champion of ACF, was it ACF? AFR, sorry, I said Formula Racing. Okay, yeah, sure. Yes, Ben, come join the LPR's chat, one of them, and you can join me in the booth. But yeah, currently AFR champion, Sarah Mulfatova just secured the championship today, and she's racing in the CLS. King Flash, if you are interested in racing and you're a member of the Cyanide Academy, if you're a member of the Cyanide Academy server, then they should have the packs available there. Maybe I should turn the music off. Hey Ven! How are you doing, Ven? I need to turn you up.
Yeah, this is just for the stream. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. Is it now good, chat?
Hello, hello. Can you
testing,
testing, 1, 2, 3. I think you should be good.
Alright, well, thank you. Also, before I should introduce myself actually. Hello, I am Ven, the owner of Over the Limit and Breaking Point Racing. And I'm partners with Cyanide Academy, and I've been invited today to be the co-commentator for Mateus Marsh today. And I'm looking very much forward to this Road Atalanta race. I am today mostly gonna be the commentator, just trying to help Matt along the way, trying to look at the fights up and down the field that we should watch. And yeah, that's about it. But something very interesting I have to point out already in practice is that Jupiter Baker top speed is 248 kilometers per hour. Meanwhile, the C's top speed is 250 kilometers per hour. So already 2 kilometer difference. Maybe the downforce. Very interesting to see that some drivers are going for lower downforce, isn't it?
It would be definitely interesting for drivers to go in different downforce settings. Um, if you go high downforce, you will be very good in the first sector, but the last sector you might struggle with that long back straight.
Yeah, of course. And my mind sharing screen, by the way. Your co-commentator needs to watch also.
Do I need to share the screen for you?
Yeah, the co-commentator can only see the
no.
live timings.
Yeah,
He's at the circuit. Don't worry, he's still at the circuit. He just can't see.
he's just looking through the fences. Wasn't allowed.
Exactly.
Wasn't allowed in.
Exactly. But jokes aside, I'm very glad I'm here today, and I'm very much looking forward to today's race. Well, two races, I should say. Not one. We gave two for the price of one today, and
Indeed,
it
we
should be
have.
it should be very exciting.
Very excited. The reverse grid is, as we've known in our own LPR series, they always throw up surprises and chaos, and this is what we love to see.
Well, Matt, who should be the one to watch you qualifying for the
Johan,
10-minute session?
man, I have three I would like to put my money on: Johan, Juniper, and Sarah Milfetova. I think battle between those three will be very interesting for the pole position.
As qualifying gets underway, let's see who's going to be first on circuit. Looks like it's going to be Jupiter Baker who's going to be first on the circuit there. And what's going to be the Emmanuel and Alar have crashed seemingly.
Lifeless
Looks
Racing
like-
already having a bit of a teammate action.
Watch out, boys! Watch out! Come on.
It's
Ooh,
only the
that's
pits. Oof.
Ooh, it's only the out lap. You're only there to move the tires. Come on, lads. Just cruise around, and then you start your whole lap on the chicane. Well, regardless, Baker's already halfway around the circuit. He's definitely pushing like he's on a qualifying lap, even though this is basically our lap. But yeah, it's looking very interesting so far. I think this qualifying session. We're gonna see what strategies the teams do. Will we see like 2 lap runs? Will we see drivers filling up for the entire session? It's gonna be very interesting to see. If this is of course a very short circuit, lap time is in the 120 range. I want to say
110s.
110s even. Sorry. So yeah. So you could easily start a new lap. I'm gonna try and give a onboard lap guide here of Jupiter. He's going so quickly now into the third one. Definitely the trickiest corner of the moment, the most exciting one.
Most
He
exciting.
takes it very well. As he's now heading towards the end station right here. You have to brake downhill and make sure you turn the car very much well, which he does indeed. Very well. 4th gear now into 5th gear. As he's now already to pretty much 6th gear now. He's turning for the left hand. You want to use the curbs around here. Right here you
Ooh,
can
gone
afford to go
wide.
wide door, but that's maybe track limits invalidations, but I'm not sure. Yep, he's backing up, so he's definitely run the track limits too much. So Sarah Mikhailova is right behind him. She's heading towards the right hand, the 4th gear, the first part of it. Then you want to slow it down to 2nd gear on the second part of the double right hander, and now you're accelerating down this whole straight, which isn't really a straight, as you might have think. Back in the day at this circuit, that's when they used to plan lane. Planes. They used to land planes the back stretch. If you didn't know that, it's a very long story, which if you have time we'll delve into now. But me rambling on, it means that Sarah is ready at the chicane. Very well taken in 3rd gear on the exit. Again in 3rd gear, uses the curbs exactly to the extent. And now she's heading towards the downhill right-hander. We're pretty sure as this is all flat, we don't even to lift as she crosses the line for a 112.0.
We've seen one. I was about to say we've seen like 111, 110s from Johan. He's immediately
And-
gone 1 second faster.
Well, wow. So this is definitely going to be very interesting. This qualifying session. But remember, this is their first runs. Some drivers may just want to get a safe bunker in. Who knows?
So Victor pipping both Sarah and Cass to P2. Alan takes P7. You have Vasily taking P2 with a 111.4.
Very interesting. Yeah.
And speaking of interesting, there is a little bit of I think that's maybe coming from you.
Don't worry, your commentators just checking the chat to see if there are any messages about me.
No, it's most like might be a little bit of a coming back, bouncing back.
Yeah, maybe, I'm not sure, but either way, we can hear each other, we're here to commentate, we're here to have some banter here today. as the most important takers. Already, I have to note down, Johan 2 kilometers again faster than Vasily down the back straight. Has Vasily put just a little bit more downforce to help him through the S section? It's very interesting to see.
Johan has gone even quicker, dipped into 110s, 110.9.
Very interesting to note is that now his top speed is 648 kilometers per hour on his fastest lap. It's very interesting to see the top speeds here. As he's now heading for one of the trickiest corners right there. Pretty much perfect right there. What did you say, Matt?
Oh no, I wasn't saying anything at the moment as we see was looking at the timing sheets, and Juniper Baker, she's gone P2 now, only 10th and a half behind Johan.
So pretty sure that's Steve crossing the line lap, and Bernard, Victor Bernard is starting his lap now as well. So we're gonna see how those drivers get on. As Vasily is teleported to the pits.
Lifeless trying to get out of the way. Juniper Baker says they matches Johan in the first sector.
Yeah. Sarah is about to cross the line again. Let's see if this is gonna be the proven for her or not. It's gonna be very interesting to see. She's gonna cross the line in a minute now. And I think it could be a push lap, judging by things, but maybe it looks like it's gonna be a whole lap from her. And yeah, it looks like she's just starting her whole lap now as Drip the Baker's on the back straight. As you guys can see on the stream, as he's now gonna go towards the chicanes right here into third gear. And very well done, very good at the exit right there as he's now trying to head towards the last quarter. Very tough for the neck, you would have to think. As he goes pole! Beating Johan with 4 minutes left to go in the session.
By a 10th, I didn't think she would be able to get that pole position. She lost 2/10 on her personal best in the middle sector, but more than made it up in the first and last sector.
As Johan, I'm pretty sure is teleporting to the pits right now. Yep, he is teleporting to the pits. So very interesting. As who is the driver there? I think that's Story Pushman maybe. Oh, Azam is also teleporting to the pits, and Luca as well. So I think that the drivers going out for their final runs, and it's gonna be very interesting to see.
Might be very interesting to see. Indeed, we have Johan out on the circuit. Vigo out on circuit as well. It's got half a second to make up to Johan.
But I think he'll be able to do at least get down to 3 or 4 tenths on his lap. I'm pretty sure he's a very capable driver. And,
Sarah Molfatova still liking that 1 second behind her teammate Juniper.
That shows you how this circuit is a 70-second lap time, yet you're still losing a second. You wonder to yourself why you're losing the time, surely. Like you're talking to the engineers, and you say, "Hey, what am I losing this time?" And
everywhere.
Exactly.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes, exactly. So the engineers will definitely have to look for the data to see where Johan is getting the lap time. He could, Drip, that's invalidated right there. I think with the exit of the.
I believe you're right. Juniper has invalidated the lap time.
But it's so easy to start another lap. As long as you cross the line with a minute and 10 seconds left to go, you should be good to start another lap. 2 laps, but it's gonna be a challenge. So, yeah, as Vasily here, we see him on board. Look at that, he's shifting up the gears now. As he's gonna cross the line, let's see what his lap time is gonna be. It's 3rd place, which is an improvement, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for another push lap here. Let's have a look. Look at third one, by the way. This is pure commit right there. You don't want to turn the wheel too much to hit the inside curve, but you don't want to open it up too much to the point where you're hitting the outside curve and you're spinning off. Very delicate corner there. As we have 2 minutes left in the session now, Johan needs to gain only a 10th, which I think he will be able to do. Very confidently, I can say. In my opinion, Johan is a very capable driver, and he should be doing wonders in that little Formula Indy car.
I believe we have lost 2 drivers. Kevin Paz is rejoining, and Azam is not on the server. He has set 4 laps.
Yeah, but speaking of setting laps, Johan just set the fastest lap with qualifying. I told you, it is gained a 10th on Baker. So Baker needs to push just a tiny little bit more, and she will gain the her pole position back. Saris, we can hear on the radio. She's asking drivers to ask her to share a setup. Wow. Let's see if anybody will be willing to help her. As there's some switch offs, but Bernard goes into P5 there. I'm pretty sure he improves on his lap, as we now have that 70-second um, point of the session. So right now the drivers who are on circuit right now will be prepared to start their final laps. Um,
I
and pretty much
believe.
are miss. Well, the drivers who are in the pits right now can't start on the lap, so that's their qualifying done pretty much over. So Sarah will only be starting for P7 right now if there is even improvements to come for the drivers coming up.
Juniper and Johan are still able to get 2 push laps in. I believe Johan is about to cross the line. Let's see what Johan can do on this lap if he can improve. He doesn't, he's a 10th down. Let's see if Juniper is improving this time around. She does indeed improve. She beats Johan. Both of them still have 1 lap remaining to take that pole position, but those two are just miles ahead of everyone else.
But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see that Jeeper Baker is gonna be full commitment now. That's to the barrier.
Full commitment to the barrier. So is
And
Johan.
Johan. So that's qualifying over pretty much now.
That's qualifying over, you are right. That is going to set the grid for the top 2 unless anybody else out on the track. But I don't believe so.
It's cooking very much, but I don't think anybody's gonna be cooking very much right now. Not the sort of the drivers, but I just think that those are a class of their own. Drivers as Jupiter is raging. She's raging so much that I think to the point. Or maybe she's saying the setup. I think that's what she's doing. It looks like Baker because she's sharing the setup in the open chat. That's a very interesting tactic.
Yeah, we
Very
have some
interesting tactics.
inter-team banter as well to go alongside.
Yeah, but yeah. By the way, is the stream PG because we have a very interesting team radio from Jupiter who said.
We do have it. We try to keep it as professional as possible.
Yeah, but we have a radio from Jupiter Baker saying to Sarah, "You're welcome, you little orange shit." So yeah, that's some great banter between the drivers. You would have to agree.
Great banter, followed by a love heart in the message as well.
Exactly. So yeah. So yeah, let's qualify over. Man, you want to run us through the field?
Running you through the field. So taking a wonderful pole position is Juniper Baker, followed by Johan Karolczak. Those two were fighting for the pole position all qualifying session. Then representing the series is Victor Bernard in P3, followed by Vasily in P4. A wonderful showing from Vigor Ketela in P5 and Luca Casal in P6. Closely followed is Sarah Mulfatova, who will be looking to make a lot of ground now that she has a setup from her teammate. Right behind her is Alan van der Hoven in P7 and Daniel Kivilsha P8. And in a tight battle, just the 10th separating him is Ethan Mills. And further towards the back we have Emmanuel Steve P10 and Tori Pushman P11, and I will be battling for the final points paying position. And late joiner from Kevin Paz.
Yeah.
We are still missing Azam. I do wonder if he had some sort of big issue.
We're also missing Iker, right? Iker has decided not to show for today's round. Who else big are we missing here in the race? We're missing Isaac is not gonna be racing. Yako is not gonna be racing. Victor Esser is not gonna be racing. And Siju is not gonna be racing either, I don't think. So
I know Siju is out on holiday somewhere.
I mean, I thought he was back, no? But
No,
regardless.
he's still got a long time left, I think.
Yeah, Ruswan is also doesn't seem to be on the grid. It's okay as the drivers I think are now getting their fuel calculations done, and yeah. As we also have a team radio from Ethan Mills who is saying that he's stealing Jupiter's setup because he's slow AF. But regardless, we're on the grid now.
We are indeed out on the grid. We have 50 seconds till the lights go out.
Before the race starts, what do we think is going to be the podium for race 1?
Podium for race 1. Oh, it's going to be difficult. I reckon it's going to be Johan, Juniper and Sarah. I reckon with the new setup Sarah might be able to make some spaces back. And I believe we have Azam rejoining back again.
But maybe it'll be a pit lane start for him from Azam, but I'm not too sure
I'm not
yet.
sure. I can see him on the grid.
Really, that's very interesting that he just got there in time. But regardless, my podium would be Johan, Mills, and Luca. Anyway, as the lights go on now, you have 6 red lights, Matt. I'm gonna let you run through lap 1.
Gonna let me. So we have 5 lights, 6 lights, and the lights shall go out right now as we have excellent start. Very poor start from a person in 4th place. Getting a good start from Juniper Baker. Johan going down the inside, taking the lead. We already have.
That's a big one in the back. That was a big one for Victor.
Victor Bernard in the barrier gets going again. Doesn't seem to be any more casualties through that race.
That crash was at 235 kilometers per hour.
Oh, we have somebody going wide.
Oh my goodness.
I believe that's Ethan Mills going wide. Oh, we have a spinner.
Somebody's off. That's Azam?
Luca Casal. I believe Luca Casal and Azam.
In the lifeless team, the Abu Dhabi boys, UAE boys I should say.
UAE boys indeed, but we have Juniper Baker under attack by Vasily down the main straight.
Yep, very much, very interesting fight I think right now as the drivers are fighting for their way through the field now. Johan is going to be very much happy that Batlix, which means he can get away as they head side by side into the chicane. Third gear right hand this corner. The inside is very portable, so is the outside. Outside might give you a better run. So they're gonna go side by side. Oh my god, stealing 3 wide. Sarah tries to sneak it down east side for the lead 4 team. Is it gonna be 3 wide into turn 1? Oh my goodness me.
I don't think it's going to be turn 1. I think Sarah is going to, but Juniper takes the grass. It's being forced wide. I think there may have been either a little bit of contact or just Juniper running out of the room.
Jupiter Baker made contact with Vasily, confirmed by the data.
So they have made contact. So Juniper Baker, I don't think it was 4 on. She was already out on the edge. But Vasily takes second place. Johan is now 1.6 seconds ahead. I think it's gonna be freeway crash.
Freeway spin. Luca, Azam, and Steve maybe.
All of the lifeless drivers have indeed been involved
Luca,
in a spin.
Emmanuel, and Azam. Yep, both 3 of them have managed to collide with each other. Unbelievable. My goodness. As Sarah is now chasing behind Vasily. She's not gonna give in that easily. And Baker behind as well. He's not gonna give it. It's not gonna give up that easy. In the second position, Sarah is closing down on Vasily.
To be fair, that is the first time I've ever seen 3 cars synchronized spinning just like that. And even less often, 3 of them are teammates.
As I think we've seen some team orders, I think everyone Steve has said to Azam, I'm faster than you, and they've complied with each other. As Daniel Kiwatsa.
Well, the only way to achieve equality in speed is to stop moving, because then you are moving at the same speed.
Good quotes. Good quotes. But regardless, this is a great battle here for 7th place.
Oh, we got spin!
Oh my goodness!
That was so close! Daniel Kivilsha with inhuman reaction to avoid Van der Hoven, who had a bit of a too much front grip and not enough rear grip.
Yeah, but wow, that was close. Wow, was that close. Sarah Bakhalova now in the slipstream range, very much Vasily. Let's see if she'll be able to take advantage of that into the chicane, or will she wait another lap before she makes the move? Because this is going to be the best overtaking spot, I think, Matt. I don't think even turn 1 is kind of suicide in this.
It most likely will be. Turn 1 will be suicide side-by-side action, especially with these cars, even if you can go flat. The dirty air, it's nothing to be joked about.
As Baker says the fastest lap, so maybe she is still catching. There's still similar lap times, but Baker just a tiny bit faster than Johan. So Johan maybe take a little bit more easy but he can afford to do that.
Maybe these three decided not to battle for now and trying to catch up the first place. There is still 60 minutes left, so plenty of time to battle towards the end.
Yeah, lots of types for mistakes as well. There's a battle I think for P10 as well in the background. Yeah, between the lifeless cars. Steve makes the move on Van de Hoop, is that? For the P10 slot, which I'm pretty sure tops at this points are top 10 or top 15. I'm really sorry that I don't know
You
this.
know, I can't remember myself. I think it's top 10 for the points paying position. However,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have Sarah going down the outside past Vasily.
turning outside now into the chicane. And Sue will turn inside right here for this spot. Oh, Vasily with such a good exit though. He's
Oh.
able to keep the position for now. Oh, side by side into the last corner. It's very tricky as Baker is just sitting there. Oh my goodness. As this is gonna be very close now between the drivers. So this is still one move.
Oh, there's contact! There's
Collided.
contact! Vasily makes
Very
contact with Sarah.
violent. At 228 kilometers per hour, they made contact. Oh my goodness me.
Is that?
And that's both. That's pretty much both of them out of the race. Yep. Vasily's out of the race.
I do believe Vasily is out. Sarah has got her car moving, but Vasily is back in the pits, and that promotes Juniper into P3. Yeah, Juniper had a spin. She's dropping down the order. She's now back into P5.
Yeah, but like, oh my! We said it earlier that move around the outside is asking for suicide.
Yeah, that's
It
Sarah
really
is not happy in the voice comms.
But Ethan Mills is in second place. Can we just give a? Is that no? That's for Is that? Like, Ethan Mills is in second place, right?
Yeah,
right
Ethan Mills is in second place.
Yeah, shout out to Ethan Mills. He's kept his car clean for Team Default and is getting the result. He hasn't been in the discussions very much, but regardless, he is doing a very good job right now.
Daniel.
Whoa. That's an overstep over, I think, but he's got the car under control behind the Baker. So
Yeah, getting a very different fate today than yesterday. Yesterday he was involved in every single incident that prevented him from capitalizing on the pole position in Super GT. Today, so far, everything seems to be falling right into place to him. His main contenders had issues one way or another.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be very interesting now to see if Baker will have to catch up to the back of the field as Vasily. I think maybe has Vasily emerged ahead of Sarah while teleporting to the pits? That is very interesting. I think he does. Wow. So Vasily, with the know-how, immediately teleported to the pits, took the 30-second penalty, but I think they're gonna be a lap down. Or actually, no, but they wouldn't because they crossed the line.
They should be a lap down if I believe correctly. According to the live timing, he is in P11.
But they crossed the start-finish line after they crashed, so they will be on the same lap.
Let's give it a lap or two as we see Juniper Baker still battling with Daniel Kivilsha for that 4th position. Somehow Daniel has gone back up ahead of Juniper.
Oh my, look at how deep Watson runs into the corner. He's taking the grass pretty much, but that means that Juniper Baker's taking advantage of that, and she's up to 4th place. Once again, this is a very feisty battle.
Very feisty battle, but Juniper just left him in the dust, already pulled the 7/10 gap to Daniel.
Very interesting is that like the way you have to drive this car is very interesting because it's very much a momentum-based car. You can't really lose momentum in this car. If you lose the rhythm, you lose speed, and that's the recipe for disaster. But Alton, MK, and Steve, they have the pirouettes at the left hander, but they're 7 and 9. They're 6 and 9, sorry, even. So they're still very much happy. As Luca Cassell as well, the Lifeless Racing team. He's also chasing his teammate. Is there gonna be Team Odyssey, you reckon, again?
No, I don't think so. The synchronized spinning, I think. Ooh, that looks.
Oh, they are.
We have.
Azam!
That is Azam in the walls, indeed. Also, hello, Iker. I don't blame you for not racing when it's too hot. Spain is suffering.
I mean, I'm with the air cold right now. I can't lie to you. So
I'm up north. There's
uh,
no heat here.
exactly, but over here in my land, it is very hot indeed. So it's AC day. Yeah. But regardless, enough rambling about ACs. Let's talk about the actual AC and the race that's ahead of us. Vigo is in the slipstream now of Ethan Mills. The Kanye-inspired car is chasing the team defaults, the championship leaders in the constructors title as he's trying to go around inside of Ethan Mills. Ethan Mills, ooh, he gets his car just in front and he's able to hold up the position. But are we gonna see a suicide at the moment? Oh no, he's down. They're side by side. Oh my goodness, didn't respond that.
Juniper Baker just capitalized on the opportunity
Yeah, he
ruthlessly.
really did. He really did. But regardless, very, very good maneuver from Junior, who sees the opportunity. Now, Ethan Mills is under a lot of tremendous pressure. Oh my
Ooh,
goodness, oh my goodness, that was a very dangerous scent. Um, I personally would have waited a little bit. Junior, if you're Baker, you're thinking, I have the speed. There is no need to go over the top with this, but looks like she is just trying to get the move as soon as fast as possible. I'm pretty sure Yoko's run away with this. Even if he makes a mistake, he'll be able to turn it around quickly.
but you know,
Um,
there's still 10 minutes left. Anything can still happen. I think Juniper's just getting frustrated at this point.
I mean, if I was Gypsy, I would be very calm right now. I wouldn't be too worried about passing it to Bills. She's already seeming to do that down the street using the slipstream effect. And yep, she has got to eat the Bills, get into the chicane, and she's already pulled like 2 car legs. And yeah, Jupiter Baker is up to second place. Once again. And yeah.
There's a few things that might happen. Johan might make a mistake and we're gonna see a fight for the first place, but Ethan Mills is trying to fight it around the outside.
He's gonna go
going
down.
alongside. There's
Oh, they've
contact.
collided! That was for sure contact.
There's more contact.
Oh, Ethan and Baker have made contact, and that is wow. As the battle is not over yet, just for second place, Ethan Mills get the
Vigo Ketela is now in second
Ketela,
place.
sorry, yeah. I don't know to slouch of Vigo Ketela, but he's already up to second place in the 4th lifeless racing car I think we've seen today. So a lot of lifeless cars running for the championship today.
He did, I believe Juniper
And
will
look
be
at
red hot mad in the Red Bull Racing number 87 seat.
you're gonna be seeing a lot of reports post-race, but regardless, this is a very exciting battle for second place. Very, very tight between all the drivers. Doesn't really distinguish, but Ethan Mills seeming it looks like he's right now the tortoise, but yeah, the tortoise in the rabbit and the
3
horse.
wide at the chicane.
Yeah, 3 wide to chicane, but Kiwatsa running deep, and they're already out of the battle for second place seemingly right now. As Ethan Mills is trying everything he can to keep hanging on into this. He needs to be careful not to provoke Junior back too much. Oh my
Bit
goodness,
more
he's
contact. There was
He's
a bit
off.
more contact, and he is indeed off.
I mean,
Juniper unscathed.
that was
it
very.
seems.
I'm sorry, but that was very silly for Ethan Mills. So I think you have to agree, Matt.
Was definitely very silly from me. He had plenty of space around the outside. And I think he tried to turn it in.
As Victor Bernat
much.
is already up to 9th place, as there's again another battle there in the back.
Oh, we have contact!
Oh! Between the lifeless cars once again!
They seem to have
beef
come out
continues.
unscathed. Ethan Mills is in the pits.
Oh, I think it's game over for him. He's gonna do what Vasir has done and teleport to the pits as soon as possible instead of doing the reversing out it again.
I believe you are correct.
I think that may save more time, actually. That's why drivers keep doing it. If I was me, I would stop doing that, but... Woo! Oh,
More contact.
Jupiter today has used her car like a battery gram, seemingly. At least her car can take the damage, but with that NASCAR-esque move, she's up to second place.
May have to see that on a instant replay at some point after the race.
Yeah, that would be very good to see. That would be a very interesting case to look at, because from what we saw, we just...
Oh, Juniper goes over the chicane.
Yeah. But he says the fastest lap police. Is there a fast lap point? There is, right?
I believe
So
there's a fastest
fast.
lap point, yeah. And I believe they
So
also nicked the Let Paul Racing's idea for getting 1 point per for leading a lap.
so that's very interesting because the only driver to the lap is Johan.
So Johan gets the so singular point, and Juniper gets wild on the exit. I think that car is very, very much battered and hanging on by Fred.
Oh my goodness, this is a very interesting battle, that's for sure. I see the Mills at the back of the field, unfortunately, as Dory Pushman is also towards the back of the field. But Daniel Kiewicz has had a little bit of an up and down race, you would have to agree. He's had moments where he's battling for second, then he's dropped back a little bit, but then he's able to regain his composure and cool, and he's done very well.
Indeed, there has been. Vasili's been able to do a pretty good recovery drive, it seems.
Yeah.
I
mean,
think his
default.
final position might be looked after at the end of the race. I think so, anyway. But he's recovering pretty nicely.
But Team Default really do need the points here, you would have to think, because they're leading the constructors behind, was the Lifeless, I think, they're in second place?
I think Team Default is first.
Let me check the standings. I know I saw Ipona probably on stream. That is again bad of the commentator not doing his research. Oh my goodness, this is very close battle cover as I'm checking the standings.
Vasily is staying calm, staying behind and waiting for the main straight, I believe, before he passes Van der Hoven.
Yeah, for sure. And this is turning into a very interesting battle, that's for sure.
I think Vasily is gonna get Van der Hoven. He's got a much better drive and he's got slipstream to pull out and send it into the chicane.
Yeah.
Back and Van der Hoven stick it out. Vasily is already.
Can't
Carlin contact! There's been contact!
He turned it on braking! He turned it on braking! That is rule 1 that you never do. Rule 1, he completely misjudged the space he gave his competitor, and as a result they both paid the price.
I believe that one was on Van der Hoven. I think he turned in while Vasily was ahead.
I think Vasily tried to take that extra wide line to gain more momentum, but I think he went and paid back.
He was ahead. It was technically his corner, and he was going to give enough space from the way his car moved. I think it was just Van der Hoven going for the apex. That's I think what happened.
Either way, again, another case that have to see post races. Sarah is trying to at least get 1 point.
Oh, as
there goes the point, I think. Yeah, there is the point.
I think a little bit of a front left or rear left lockup from Emmanuel there.
If it was rear, then you would have seen him spinning off, I think. So
unless he caught it, just very slightly.
I mean, it's very rare to save a rear locking. Okay, especially if it's a very big one. No, maybe the drivers are maybe punchy with the brake bias, but again, from what I heard from the drivers, they're saying that they need to set up the car so the kind of like the nose tries to hit the ground as much as possible, therefore increase the braking powers, which I'm not sure if that's how it works in real life, but that's what this car apparently requires you to do.
It kind of does, because you're angling the front wing downwards a bit more, giving you a little bit more downforce. And if you have more downforce, you can be more adventurous on the brakes.
Yeah, but race 1 is near its conclusion. Two laps I think left to go in this race. And,
that might be 3 laps.
I think he'll be 2, I wanna say.
Where is Johan around the track now? Johan is going through the S's right now.
No, that's Sarah, isn't it? You're looking at Sarah.
Looking at the track map, Johan is right behind them.
Oh, so he's coming around to lap them. Wow.
As Sarah goes around the outside through the shoehorn. Oh, contact!
Oh!
There's more contact.
Wow.
Let Paul Racing team cannot get a break, and no one can get around. That was a dangerous rejoin right in front of Johan.
Ethan Mills, it's only 20 seconds behind the field. Wow. But yeah, just That was very unexpected, that's for sure.
That was a very dangerous region by Sarah, right in front of Johan.
As according to the data, Allard and Vasily have crashed at 300 kilometers per hour, so I didn't give off the contact.
May have
Judging
been
by... That's very
again
slow.
at 400 kilometers an hour. That's what I'm seeing.
I thought I saw 400.
And
Maybe
Vasily
one of
is
us...
in the pits.
One of us maybe is going blind.
I did see 400.
Yeah, 400 I think it was, so... It's an incredible G-force impact, that's for sure.
Oh, indeed.
Thankfully these cars are only virtual. And if you crash them, you don't have to pay the insurance. So,
No, yeah, you only have to pay in pain, sweat, and frustration, and maybe a trip to the
Exactly.
therapist.
That'll be second to none. But Victor Vernat has passed Van de Hoven for third place, as Vasily is to get back of the field.
Juniper
after
Baker
his
has
collision.
dropped back to 5th place, so something must have happened to Juniper Baker.
Maybe again another silly mistake, like we saw earlier, just over pushing the car a little bit. But regardless, it's Johan's race to lose, really. But the battle for second place is still on between Vigo and Kiwasa. Kiwasa back up to second place.
Oh, we had
Where
contact
the
again, Emmanuel Steve with Sarah Mulfatova.
Can they stop? Steve Manuel has been involved in so many fires this race. It's very ridiculous. But regardless, Sarah gains the position.
Sorry, guys, but is it the end of the race? Johan is going very slow.
What?
I think it is the end of the race. Not sure whether Sarah pipped him anyway. She did pip him right at the line.
But was that final lap? I think it must
That was
have,
the
right?
final lap
Yeah.
indeed. So we will be getting final drivers across the line as Kettler crosses the line, finishes in second place. This will be easy to see. Casal coming across the line. Do we have any drivers still battling with each other? Kivilsha had a spin. That's going to cost him 5th place.
That's fuel! That's fuel!
That's
I think
fuel.
That's fuel!
That is fuel. He's going slow.
That's not a spin, that's fuel! Oh my goodness, Kiwaso with such an incredible point. Could have scored for his team. He's unfortunately ran out of fuel on the back stretch. Wow.
Oh, so unlucky from Kivilsha, but he will secure 8th place due to Johan lapping 9th place.
But still, could have been second.
It
could have been second.
It could have been 4th, I think, or 5th.
I think this drive will basically go down as a... the streets will never forget, you know, drive, in the sense that he was nearly there at the finish line, crossed the line in second place for the podium, but nope, he's unfortunately ran out of fuel there on the side of the circuit.
We have quite the predicament going on in the race chat on comms right now. I don't think
not everybody is happy with each other at today's racecraft from today.
I don't think anyone is happy at the moment. Well, unless your name is Kettler.
Oh, Johan! Johan
Oh,
didn't
Johan,
even see a
yeah.
reaction, really!
No, that was the reaction from Johan.
Yeah, Johan just, yeah. But yeah, regardless, Matt, do you want to run us through the race order?
Run you through the race order. So for that race order, we had Johan winning the race with Kettler P2, P3. Juniper Baker takes 4th place. She would have definitely hoped for more. Victor Bernard takes P5 with a recovery drive after that first lap shunt. Van der Hoven takes P6 with Azamin P7 again after so many incidents that was involved. Daniel Kivilsha, heartbreak for him. P8
Oh
after
my
running out of
goodness,
fuel.
the comms I'm seeing, the team radios I'm seeing are very rude between the drivers.
Oh,
I
indeed,
think.
there have been is quite an interesting predicament. Back onto the rundown of the results is Sarah Mulfatova in P9 with a recovery drive and a lot of questionable driving with drivers around her.
Siju, the community owner is typing in the chat. I thought he was away on holiday, but looks like maybe he see the race and he's trying to get involved as well. But we now have a second race of the way. The drivers need to put it behind each other, and first of all, make sure they don't run out of fuel. as we saw with Kiwasa.
Indeed.
Kiwasa will definitely have to add 5 more liters to the car.
Yeah, definitely.
I think to make sure he gets to the end. Which he was. I mean, that's the trick. That's the fine art of running out of fuel. Like that precision that you have to get over the line with 0.1 liters to the car just to maximize. Vasily's been kicked. Is he out of the event after his shenanigans?
Indeed, there is Vasily. There has been note from the stewards that Vasily will be starting from the pits as a result of him teleporting to the pit and driving back out on the track. If I'm not
Wow.
mistaken, Ethan Mills did the same. So Ethan Mills will have to start from the pits.
But it looks like maybe he will get away with it because he's been really quiet on the team radios.
That's the way you get away with things. Is you are very quiet.
Yeah, absurd, but we as a commentator team, we want to make sure everything is fair between the drivers. And right now it's ascended to chaos. This is turning into a NASCAR style pit lane dispute rather than a civilized open wheeler one.
No,
But then again, what pit lane is civilized in motorsport nowadays? Let's be completely honest with each other. So many egos up and down the field.
Oh, we have already. Ethan has been made aware as well. And how is the server unfolding? Because we are still waiting for the second race to unfold. So if we are racing. So Ethan Mills will not be starting on pole. He will have to go back into the pits, as will Vasily.
It's reverse. So I think Ethan is gonna start a pole position because
No,
he
Ethan
finished
is
the race,
he started from the pits. He already said he will be starting from the
Okay,
pits.
that's
So
fair enough. Respect. Can we just give a round of applause for Ethan for, making sure he makes things fair.
And he was also told by Victor Bernard to do that. So the starting order for this race, if I can get it in within 25 seconds, we have Steve, Emmanuel Steve in P1, followed by Sarah Mulfetova in the second place. Azam and Van der Hoven P3, P4. Victor Bernard, Juniper Baker P6, P5, P6 respectively. P7, P8,
Casale,
Casale,
Kellera, Johar, Kiwatsa, Pushman, and that's your grade.
and
The
me
lights are on.
in the pits.
And you, in the pits. As I'm gonna let you take that one again.
Turn one again, so let's just make sure we have everything on camera. Ethan Mills is pulling off to the side to let everybody by. As we see, great start from Emmanuel Steve. Let's see what's going to happen in turn one. It seems like most drivers are making it through. Sarah goes wide.
Oh, somebody's off.
Who is that? That's Viggo
Oh,
Ketteler.
Viggo. Oh, that's a shame.
Oh, we have
for Viggo.
we have
it's
big
chaos.
car pile up to
That's 5 cars.
six car.
6
car chaos.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cars. I think Joch has been involved in that as well. So it's Assam leading the race behind, chased by Emmanuel, and then you have Victor Bernat in 3rd place, I think.
If it was me, I would have called for a restart right now.
It's a lifeless 1-2.
So a lifeless one.
Lifeless 1-2.
It's a lifeless 1, 2, 3. But
Oh
to be
my
fair,
goodness! Bernard nearly went into the grass there trying to pass. Oh my goodness, he's driving very erratically, Victor. I'm sorry, but those are very violent moves with the steering wheel. Maybe that's how you drive the car. Oh!
if I'm not mistaken, the server has gone down and they may restart the race.
I mean, there is a restart option as the admin, so I'm not sure why we need to kill the server.
It's a very good question. The server has gone down for one reason or another. We're gonna
that was a very interesting decision. Yeah, live timings are off. Everything's shut off.
Live timing has gone off. We had seven out of 8, technically 8 cars out of the 12 racing that ended up outside of the racing line.
Honestly, I mean, after that first race, maybe we should keep it at that. I mean, yeah, we're getting a technical red flag, and this is now the worst point for us, the commentators, because now we need to waffle on until the server restarts.
It might be a server reset. So what we're going to do? I believe this will be a good time for a break.
No, we can use this time to tell the story of how this race used to be for. They used to smuggle drugs onto this circuit, believe it or not.
In Road Atlanta, you say?
Yeah, this is a very interesting story which has been covered in an Aiden Millward video. By the way, incredible YouTuber. Everybody should go check him out. I love listening to him. It's very much like you're in bed and you just want to relax and still learn something interesting in the motorsport terms. You go watch him. I think it's a fantastic channel. But made a story about how this track was formed and when the brothers who used to own this circuit used to land their planes on the back straight. And the funny thing is that the drivers would notice the skid marks because a plane makes a lot of skid marks on that road. Like, if you ever landed a plane, you see in the tarmacs of when they land planes, you see how much like rubber there is on it because of how fast they're going. They used to land the planes there to smuggle the drugs, and that's how this circuit was used pretty much to smuggle drugs illegally. So, that's a very interesting story that I've learned recently. I would love to go into more detail, but that's as much as I know about the story. Or remember, actually. But yeah, it's a very good story about Road Atlanta, which I've learned recently.
So no, that reminds me of the story of the BTCC team that smuggled drugs as well. Have you heard about that one?
No, I haven't. Which team was
So
that?
it was the team BMW. I believe it was when Steve Soper and Team Harvey were racing in the BMW in
Good days.
1992, I believe. I need to fact check that.
It may be even earlier, to be fair. I mean, you can't joke clearly the Vauxhall back then.
Yeah,
Uh,
John Clare the Vauxhall, the good old season 92 season finale. That was the famous one. I believe it has been. But the BMW team carried a lot of. They took a lot of trips to Holland as their test track was Zandvoort, and
mm,
they went testing to Holland just a bit too often and became suspicious. So a British customs officer intercepted a hauler carrying 40 grams of cocaine, in addition to the BTCC race cars.
wow. that's a that's one way to hide it, I
Yeah,
guess.
and the reason the team did it
Uh,
is so they could actually race in the BTCC because they didn't have the funding.
yeah. Well, that's one way to fund your race team. I mean, that's what racing is all about. We love those stories in the paddock. Like we hear the stories of, like my funniest stories have to be when a fan is speaking to a driver, like a race driver, and they don't realize he's the race driver. I think those are one of the more funnier ones. Um, you know,
Oh,
stories to hear.
we have here. I'm going to mute this, but we have a shirt. Ooh, that. See if I can pull it up on stream. Uh, this Vasily shared the replay of his contact with Sarah, and from the way it looks like, Sarah had her front tire in front of his rear at the corner apex and before the turn in, and he just turned in like she wasn't there. That's, in my opinion, 100% on Vasily.
I mean, we are trying here to get the race out of the way, but it seems like we're kind of struggling at the moment to get the race going. But we can't blame them. I think they should have just used the restart race option, which you can do. There's an admin command for it in the platform that you're using, which is the Zero Corsa, and it's very interesting why they haven't done that.
Indeed. Well, regardless, should we call a small break while they're setting up the servers?
Yeah, let's do that. I think it's gonna be about 2 to 3 minutes. I think before we get the server in there again, or they may even call the second race. To be fair, if I was the race director, I wouldn't get the second race on the way again. Just yeah.
I am very interested to see what's going to come out of this. So, we will be back once the server comes back up. In the meantime, enjoy.
Just tell me when we're.
Hello, welcome back. We have 1 minute 20 left. My co-commentator is out getting some sustenance. And I believe he's back right now.
Your
Excellent.
co-commentator is back with his supplements.
Excellent. Just in time. We have 1 minute until lights go out.
I just noticed the race is 21 minutes. Why is it not 20 minutes?
No idea. We have.
Can you share screen again? Again, the co-commentator is outside the premises.
He's been not let back in. He forgot his ticket.
Exactly. I forgot my paddock pass. Speaking of paddock passes, have you heard the news that the Imola cat has died for
Oh yeah,
Molinho,
I
I think?
heard.
That's the saddest news of the
That
summer
is
break.
literally the saddest news of the summer. It's supposed to be silly season, but I don't feel so silly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we're gonna see any moves in the real life Formula One season, but in this virtual Formula Indy race, I think we're gonna see a lot of action.
We currently have 10 drivers back out on the grid. We are missing.
I think some drivers might have refused to race in the second race. To be fair.
Vasiliano definitely is not here. So is neither is
Sarah.
Sarah. We have 6 lights going, and it's lights out and away we go as we. Hello.
As we hello indeed, as
As we hello,
Emmanuel Safe
Emmanuel.
takes the lead. And behind them is Azam MK, I believe. That's not Azam, that's not the lifeless car, but I can't tell which one it is. Oh, that's Vigo, right?
It's Manuel Steve leading as we have Van der Hoven taking the lead.
Oh, Van der Hoven is in the lead now. Interesting, as there's a lot of developments in the background. Look at the commentary. Oh, that's gonna be a chaos.
Oh, there's
Behind, I'm
chaos.
pretty sure.
Johan is forced
Johan.
wide.
Yep.
We have somebody
ooh,
spinner. I believe that's Ethan Mills. That is
Yeah.
Ethan Mills indeed. And Juniper Baker gets past.
Is already back up to first place in the quote-unquote reverse grid race.
Quote unquote, and Vigo is already attacking Van der Hoven, getting past him on the straight. It's gonna be a whole car length ahead before they even get to the final corner.
For sure, and Yo has made collision with Daniel Kiwatsa, and Emmanuel Steve has crashed with the environment, is what we're reading here on the live timing.
Side by side from Ketela, as Ketela makes a very nice move past Van der Hoven.
That's one of the best moves you see today, yeah. That's one of the...
Oh boy, Victor trying to go around the outside. Thinks better of it. Emmanuel hang on, I believe Emmanuel Steve, yes, Emmanuel Steve is in the pits.
I think he might have suffered a collision to turn one, however, maybe that's what it is. Regardless, Jupiter Baker seemed to do the Johan from race 1 and just cruising away to the lead, but I think there's going to be still some drama involved, knowing the last race.
There's going to be some drama involved, indeed, I believe.
So regardless, right now it is very clean, and yeah, like you said, we messaged Sarah, so Sarah was very mad with the racing standards from last race because decided not to race.
Indeed, we have Victor losing an entire second to Van der Hoven, I believe. Either that or he got past Casal.
Yeah, just call him Luca. Luca is just easy to pronounce. For next race, we'll ask him how to pronounce his name. For next race.
They're from Italian?
It sounds Italian.
It sounds very
but I'm
Italian.
not sure. Then I don't understand why his flag is English. I'm not sure his flag is English. So.
I have no idea.
Either way, very interesting names here on the grid.
Indeed, we have Victor Bernard chasing Van der Hoven, but it seems like the cars are settling very nicely into their own rhythm.
And so now Van der Hoven is still chilling in the third place in that orange missile, which wasn't much of a missile in the first lap, as you can go overtake it twice. But regardless, he's still doing a good job in P3, still scoring some solid points for himself in the team.
It's powered by Ferrari missiles.
I was gonna make a McLaren Honda joke, but yeah, it's powered by McLaren Honda. Yeah,
powered by McLaren Honda. However, unlike the red prancing horses, they've made step forwards.
Oh my god, on the good old days with the GP2 engines. I mean, these cars are pretty much regular GP2 engine, to be fair. A little bit less powered, but still. Oh, the drivers do have to live for the last corner, seems like. Victor looked like he slowed down maybe a little bit, but regardless, Victor Bernardi tried to chase him. Look at how much commitment you have to show for that first corner. It's ridiculous.
In clean
As
air, that is
Victor,
a flat out corner.
yeah, but Victor, I noticed a very interesting line from Victor. He runs wide and then comes back onto that corner there. Maybe he's trying to scroll some speed off before he goes to the braking. It's a very interesting technique to approach that corner. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's also very interesting as Victor's gonna send it down the inside. He's going down inside and he's got the position up for sure. And a lot can't contest around the outside. Very beautiful blocking maneuver as well by Victor. Make sure he doesn't get back at him. And he's up to third place.
To be fair, in that point, if somebody sends it down the inside, just sacrifice that corner exactly. Focus on the second corner exit. You've got a long straight to
Yeah.
get back at them, especially with the slipstream.
Yeah, but regardless, Johan is out on P6. I mean, his championship bid will definitely take um, a little bit of a toll on his quest to the championship. He's now currently ranking P6, but he'll definitely catch Luca, that's for sure, in my opinion. And from then on, it's going to be very interesting to see if he'll be able to go up through the field in the remaining 40 minutes of this race. If he can do what he did in race 1 in terms of his pace, then I'm sure he will, but it's going to be very interesting to see regardless.
It's been 40 minutes, and looking at the gap to first place, Johan's not making much of an indentation. It's still hovering around that 12 second, 11.6 second gap.
Yeah, but can we just appreciate how the cars look, by the way? A lot of the designers have made a great job. There it goes. Kiwasa battling with Johan. Very interesting fight. I'm very interested to see this. As
Ooh,
Kiwasa
lock up
definitely...
from Johan.
Yeah, very interesting. Now that Kiwasa is gonna have the slipstream, he's gonna have a run at Johan here. Johan will not be very happy with this, but Kiwasa is gonna have a run at him into the chicane. They're going down towards the downhill right here, into pretty much the fake chase, as I like to call it. Now heading towards the chicane. Now this is pretty much the fake chase has been labeled by a lot of people, and Kiwasa off onto the gravel. Too much of a late braking. And Johan is retaining that P6 position, but he's lost time on Luca though on that lap, it would seem like.
I believe Johan might be carrying damage from his lap 1 incident.
Would that damage be that much crucial? That was flat, by the way. That really was flat. You were right about that. It is flat in clean air. Just look at how committed you have to be for this first section. It is absolutely. That's why Road Atlanta is such like a track which, if you know, you're gonna have a fun time, but if you don't know, you're definitely gonna struggle. And it's very much RNG, especially for that corner, because if you take it too slow, you get hit up the rear. If you take it too fast, you're hitting the barrier at the exit of the corner. So it's a very fine line. It's for the T double right-handers. So you just want to make sure the first part you're into the camber, then into the second part that you brake in a straight line, and slowly trail brake your way out of the corner. And now for the fake chase right here, this is now you're traditionally you're relaxing yourself, and now you're heading towards the fake chase right here. Pretty much as soon as you see the second braking point, that's where you want to brake, I think. Yeah, pretty much with that curb right there, you want to that's your braking point. And see, okay, again, with that smoke coming out of his tires again, it could be a visual bug. Don't really trust AC too much with lockups, and but regardless, he is now through one of the fastest corners, last corners I think of any racing circuit, and he is starting his lap now. Another lap in his quest to get past Luca Caselli.
Gonna have to stop you right there, commentating over that one lap. We have Victor Bernat chasing Ketela, gaining on him bit by bit.
Yeah, for sure, and it looks like it's gonna be a very intense battle for second place. I think this is gonna be a good scrap between the drivers as long as they show respect to each other. I think it would go down very well.
Indeed, I think Ketela had a little bit of a brake oversteer on the entrance to the second part of the little shoehorn double right-hander, but got a much better exit still as a result. He's pulling away from the Bernat, might be also running lower downforce.
He might be, yeah, but I'm not sure how much of a difference downforce really makes, because from what it looks like from the data, it's only 2 kilometers. I mean, it's not like in in the premier race Formula One is like 20 kilometers per hour because the downforce is.
It
It's
is,
still
but
even if you're running the low downforce, like it's noticeable it's noticeable for the speed traps, but you can't really notice people going that fast for the speed traps. So maybe drivers are sticking with middle arrow, all of them. Yeah,
few
maybe
clicks here and there,
that's
but you definitely will notice 2 kilometers going side by side with someone.
yeah, for sure.
As we see, Victor already put 4 tenths through that first sector. He must definitely be running a higher downforce setup. He's just got so much more grip and runs wide on the second corner. I thought he was about to spin, loses half a second there. That's how Luca Casal stopped in the middle of a track. He's back into the pits, and that's a second lifeless driver out of the race.
Hmm.
A third,
Well,
we
that's
are
sad to
missing
see.
Azam MK as well.
Maybe they both retired from the race. I mean, I can't blame them. The race was very chaotic.
Yeah. And Ethan Mills, we have 3 drivers out, and we are down to just 7 drivers.
Yeah.
Ethan
I
Mills'
mean,
engine has died, apparently.
ooh. I
Very
mean,
unfortunate.
Ethan already went through teleport to the pits. I mean, if he decides to revive his engine, he will need to come back to the pits again. And that's again a certain slapdash penalty. Um, Regardless, with only 7 drivers on the grid, it is still not the loneliest race of the ball, really. As the battle for second place is spicing up, surely.
Yeah.
And
Battle for second players, and that might allow Anna van der Hoven to join that battle and make a 3-way fight. All the while is letting Karolchak catch up to them as well.
and Kiwasa as well. Don't really mind Kiwasa out of the race as well. As they side by side into the best overtaking opportunity. Look at that. And then again, here comes the outside line. The outside line is the one you want, it looks like, as a Vigo is retained his position. And Victor couldn't just, he slowed the car down for the first part, but just couldn't get it up for the second part. That's why that complex is very tricky to overtake up.
There may have been a little bit of contact between Casal and Ethan Mills.
Yeah, there might have been a little bit of contact. Let's check the. No, there isn't to be any contact that's popping up on our little sensors here. Yeah.
Both drivers pushing Bernard and Ketcha, and Van der Hoven is catching bit by bit. Is now only 1.7 seconds behind. But Juniper Baker is just pulling away. She can just cruise now, just take it easy.
Yeah, Azam again with the internet issues behind his retirement. Not sure about Luca, but yeah, the internet has been the cause of his demise today. But oh my goodness, that was very aggressive from Vigo right there. But completely fair by him, but very defensive maneuver. So Victor will be saying to himself, "I've got him now in my straws. I just need to relax myself and commit to the move." That's what he'll be saying to himself.
He needs to be very careful on the throttle. I see him could do a little bit of the dance on the rear coming out of that chicane.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's very interesting to see how this will develop over the next few laps. With 7 minutes left to go with this race, it's going to be very interesting to see how this will develop.
The amount of bumps these cars go for, you might as well be rallycross over that curb.
Yeah, you would have to think so. Yeah.
7 minutes up on the board still. Karolchak not making inroads onto the remaining of top 5. I think that's where he might settle unless there's an act of God in this whole thing.
Interesting. Notes down.
Victor goes around the outside on Cadillac. He's gonna have the inside, but can he put the power down and out drag Vigo to the next corner? They're still side by side. Ooh, almost going together.
They've nearly ran into each other, but now, oh my god, the suicide quarter is approaching. These drivers need to take a lot of skill, a lot of respect between them. But Vigo has got the bigger courage, the bigger sisu, as Mika Kakare would say. But and, he's retained that position. But also respect for Victor not to stick his nose in there. I'm pretty sure any other driver would. So there's a lot of respect between these two drivers you have to see, and it's great racing.
Victor chooses the outside line through this through this section of corners here. Will he get the better drive? Tries to switch back underneath, but Kettler pushes his cars just in the right spot, but will be back on the defensive once again. Victor much closer this time around than he was on the last corner. And let's see how this will pan out this time around. Victor is a whole car length ahead. Oh, that was
but Vigo outbrake! He's outbraked himself, baby!
No,
he
hasn't.
He just got in and stopped just in front of him, and this is an incredible battle. This is the best battle we've seen all day, pretty much.
That was
unbelievable racing.
Very courageous move from Vigo Kettler as they go side by side through this corner once again.
Victor again playing it smart, letting him have the corner. No need to crash both of each other out and give up the second place, which is still good points. Second and third is still good points. No need to ruin it. I respect that from Victor. As with 5 minutes left to go, the Kanye makes return on the broadcast for the Lifeless team. But Vigo is having a great race, a great battle between him and Bernard, and this will surely be a great battle towards the end of the race. By the way, Baker has ran away with things. That's a 10-second gap. But regardless of that, Vadik Hovic is also, you mentioned him earlier that he can't get into this battle. He is 1.7 seconds behind. He's still not out of the run. We can see him there. All it takes is both of them to make a mistake. He's up to second place. But I don't think Victor...
Victor dives down the inside.
Surprised him with the last minute maneuver, but Vigo again gets his stop just in time. This is a masterclass of defensive driving from Vigo, I have to say.
Vigo definitely has way more courage on the brakes into that chicane. Victor is very hesitant. You cannot have hesitation when you're a racing driver. You have to commit. Otherwise, you're not going to get past him.
But I think Victor right there with that last minute maneuver, he checked when he knew that he wasn't going to be watching in his mirrors, and he just completely made sure he center. He saw the gap and he went for it, which is very skillful of him to do. And Victor is of course a brilliant driver, and he's showing that class that he has right now in this battle. As Vigo again, he's showing a very good defensive class, which a lot of people want to sign up. Oh, that's sideways. That's a little bit sideways for Vigo Kettler. Not sure if that's the optimal run, and there we go. Bernard is still in the slipstream. He's still gonna be the slipstream. This is a very interesting battle. Now top gear. The drivers will be achieving their top speeds for this section, of course. Victor is pretty much getting 251 kilometers with the slipstream, but there you go. Here's another chance for Victor. Vigo again just outbrakes him out of the maneuver. As Victor now tries to focus to the exit, he's definitely going to the bad exit. He's for sure going to the bad exit. This is it. This is it with 3 minutes left to go in the session. Now Victor, I think, he's going to be outside, which probably means he's going to back out. Oh, look at that. They're side by side though. Victor's getting that second win. And again, backs out of it. Lets him have the corner. It's Victor, but now we're feeling so frustrated, yet he's so happy with this battle.
I think Victor is trying to bait Vigo into making a mistake and now braking himself into the last corner. Hence is why he's braking so early.
Yeah, maybe, but regardless, whatever these tactics are, they are for sure very, very interesting to watch. And as now we have, oh, Victor is gonna try around the outside.
He's going to try. I think Vigo made a mistake.
Bernard is trying it everywhere. This is unbelievable. He really is trying it everywhere he can. This is some great racing, but Victor now with that little mistake, he's out of the slipstream range, and he needs to go again, push like a madman if he wants to get back in the slipstream range.
He will do. I think Vigo made a mistake, gone too wide, but Victor went too wide. Well, Vigo went either half span, and Victor tried to capitalize on that, but just ran too wide on the exit of the corner and just compromised himself. So a lot more work for Victor once again. There is two laps remaining, gents. So Victor, you have 2 more chances.
That was a little bit sideways from Victor, but both of the drivers right now were pushing for that second place, which they both at the podium. They both should be feeling happy and just cruising to the front, but they want that pride of second place. And I think is Yoko gonna be the only driver who's gonna get the extra point for leading the lap? Baker, sorry. Oh no,
Believe
a lot I
Baker.
think maybe will get the point. I think a lot may get the point as well.
A lot may get a point, but again, these are racing drivers. If there was a chance for you to gain second place and you didn't go for it, you will be disappointed with yourself regardless of where you finished.
Exactly, but Vigo, sorry, Johan hasn't maybe able to recover that well. I'll
No,
be honest, only fifth. So you said that but the damage theory. I think he could have easily damaged his car, and just completely slowed him down out of the straight. So I'll check the top speeds right now for it to see if that was affected him. And Johan's top speed is only 247 kilometers per hour, the slowest on the grid. So maybe there's something to do with the damage. There really could be.
they maybe have going. But however, Victor is back 0.2 second behind
Into the
Vigo
final
now.
lap now. This will surely be final lap.
This is where you do the final lap sense now. He's looking for a big. Victor
You
is.
can't pass through this section. You just have to follow.
You can if you
can't.
go balls of steel as a.
If you want to run side by side through the so Story push, but he's crashed with the environment apparently. Not sure where that is. So that's at the. This quarter we're approaching now. This is the quarter. Oh, Victor! Oh, that's white. That's white from Vigo, and this is the final chance for Victor Bernard to make the maneuver on the final lap. He's going side by side a little bit earlier.
Leaves it very late to pull out. Now, here's where Victor has to have the bigger balls of steel on the brakes.
Even if you think you are braking yourself, you need to brake. No! Oh, he's made it! He's gonna go for it!
Go around, say, gets a slide. I don't think he's gonna be able to get. I don't think
he's gonna stick his nose in. He's gonna try to stick his nose in the final corner.
He's
but
not
he's
gonna
not
be able
to
no.
get it.
Just
Oh, what a race!
What a battle between these
race between these two. Yeah, but Van der Hoeven takes P4 and Johan very disappointingly only in P5. I said disappointingly, he won race 1 fair and square by 30 seconds, but I think he better be cruising some damage on that race. And he was we haven't heard from much from him since pretty much lap 1. He's in 6th position.
No, indeed. I think he will be disappointed after winning race 1. He will not be happy with race 5, all things considered. Especially after qualifying, you were the class of the field.
Yeah. But what a race!
What a race indeed! We had it all. We had more incidents than stock car racing in NASCAR. We had drama in the voice chat, and we had a great battle in race 2 between two podium sitters.
Yeah, for sure, and yeah, very much a good race, you have to say, for race 2. I'm sure it was only the battle between Vigo and Victor filling up the broadcast, but regardless, a great battle.
Indeed, it was a great battle.
Well, Matt, now you want to run us through the provisional final order?
Provisional final order, we have Juniper Baker in P1, Vigo Ketteler in P2, Victor Bernard P3. These two did not leave each other for the last half of the race. Van den Hoven was not able to capitalize on the battle ahead of him and finishes in P4, a still good position. However, one man who is disappointed with his position is Johan Karolczak in P5, was hoping to get into the podium places at the very least. Tori Pushman, through sheer determination, secures P7, a very good position, and cars that may not be classified due to distance completed is Ethan Mins, Luca Casal, and Emmanuel Steve.
Yeah, but regardless, are we gonna speak to any of the drivers, do you think?
That is a good question. Let us see if anybody wants to have a chat.
Ethan seems to be up for it. For a chat.
Let us see. Let us poke some drivers. Let us see. So I have poked the drivers. Let's see if anybody wants to have any chance.
Regardless, if you're including both races, who would you say was your driver of the day?
For both races, driver of the day. Ooh, you know, it's very difficult to pick one. Um, Catalan, I think. Vigo.
Ah, Vigo. I mean, he did have some sort of races. I was gonna give it to Baker, but then that first race, they were all over the place. Not to be mean to them, but
I don't
it
think they
really looks
were
like.
all over the place. Some due to them, some I don't think you can blame them for it.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But if I was gonna give it overall, um, it's tough because Victor didn't really have that good of a first race, but
had a good recovery drive in the first race though.
you know what? Unpopular opinion, I think, was gonna be between the stream, but I'm gonna give it to a lot. I'm giving it to a lot. Sixth in the first race, and then now fourth in the second race. He didn't have the biggest expectations, but he
Well,
did well.
well, the chat can debate that as we have Johan wanting to have an interview. Hello, Johan. Victory in first race. Everything went just your way. It seems like the curse of yesterday has been moved to other drivers, but it came to buy in the second race.
Indeed, indeed. That's it's nicely said. Uh, race one as well. I was a bit salty to miss Paul. Juniper did a great lap. But I'm very glad to take the lead in the first quarter cleanly as well, because I think we had no issues compared to what happened to them in the following laps. First race was a bit lonely. It's just cruising in front. I still have some issues with tire wear on this car, so I was a bit taking it easy. And race two, the first start, the aborted start, didn't go so well. I think I got spun by, I don't know, a Elite Pro Racing car. I don't know if it's Juniper or Sarah, but it's in the confusion of the moment, so I don't care too much. And race two, and the second start, the official start, yeah. I went a bit easy because I knew I was going to get some positions and that people would crash in front of me, or at least make mistakes. And when one was made, I left, and someone came across me and pushed me in the wall and basically red front and back wing. So there's nothing I could do. I think I finished 30 seconds of the lead. I mean, even in the first corner, I was losing 5 tenths, and nothing I could do. So it's not as yesterday. It's not as bad because I was not put back at the back of the field, and but voilà. But I could not gain any position once I was in my. I even had to defend, funnily enough. But yeah, I mean it's still one win and fifth position. It's not as bad given I was almost tied for the first place in the championship.
Indeed. So coming out of today, due to Sarah missing last race and bad luck in race one, you might be coming out as a leader of the championship.
Yeah, I think I am. I think in the first positions there was Sarah, myself, Vasily, and Azam. I think in the first positions.
So we have driver standings up on stream right now. Sarah was leading you by 1 point.
Yeah.
Azam was trailing you by 7 points with Vasily, who missed race 2, and Victor Bernard losing 9 points to you.
Yeah, so all in all, I think, yeah, I'm taking the lead there. That's why I'm not that angry or frustrated, I was about yesterday, because this kind of stuff happens. It's half empty, half full glass, given the first race, and it's a challenging, given we had quite a few people at the same pace in front.
You know,
Yeah, there's not much to say about it. Not much more, at least.
it's just been one of those weekends for you.
Yeah.
Let's hope the next weekend is much more fortuitous for you. Thank you regardless for racing, and we hope to see you in the next round.
Yeah. Thank you for streaming as well.
No worries. Let us send you back. Then we need to move to the different channel. If you would like to follow me to the Cyanide Academy.
Why would I want to follow you? Yeah, sure, why not?
So, commentary box. I just need to get my co-worker here. We got to take. I have not been given permission to drag people in. Huh. So let us join the
Wish I'd
channel.
done Dragon Trail.
Hello. We are interrupting
Hello.
you guys.
We are live. Watch the profanity.
We are live. We are live on Twitch as well. So
Hello, Twitch.
Banned.
everyone say hi. So
Hello.
Juniper, disappointing race 1, but race 2 seemed to go just your way.
I want to say disappointing. It wasn't bad. I mean, I was hoping to fight for a win, but I'll take what I finished fourth. I think I finished fourth. I'll take fourth points.
Some very good points indeed. Points-wise, I think you have outscored your competitor Johan for the drivers' championships and might be able to close that gap up to first position.
Hell yeah. Especially after I double DNF'd last round because Dragon Trail walls hate me and want to turn my engine into a nuke.
That's the round I missed.
Yes. Was not fun. I crashed out while being 15 seconds ahead of everybody.
I don't know. I loved it.
You see-
I'm going, man.
You seem to have complete opposite. It's a shame I missed it because it sounded like an extremely fun round.
It was fun, minus the walls trying to murder people.
And that's what
which they
makes it
did.
fun.
A lot of people.
Should try it on
They don't
Monaco.
follow Monaco scares me. Monaco's gonna scare me. 1, I suck at the track. 2, I suck at the track.
Making a good point out of it. So, would you like to go through what happened in the chaos that was race 1?
I'm gonna be honest, I barely remember what happened.
Took me out.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm joking.
chaos.
I mean, race one. That everything was about
Race
on
1
one.
was Johan Hawk's new moment.
I didn't get my pole. I'm very sad about that. I should have gotten my pole position because I took my penalty. It wasn't my fault that the server broke. I took my penalty.
That's true.
Oh, that's good. So let's go to you, Ethan. Had a very strong start to race 1, but it just did not end as you would have hoped it would.
Yeah, I just got a little bit unlucky with Junior going on the inside into turn 1. And I should just lifted a little bit more to ducked onto the inside. But yeah, it is what it is. Close racing in the end. It was good fun. And then I got my pole viciously stolen away.
Gonna have to do a strong worded letter to the organizers.
I'll leave it. I'll get fast enough to be pole next race.
You might-
Yeah, and then my second race, it's like the second race I started from the back, and I could have done better, but then it was like I had a first lap incident because like I was running properly in the pack, and so as I was following the driver ahead, I've just like I don't know if I've gotten slipstream or like he slowed down a bit, but I've just tapped the rear end, and this car washes so quickly if you get any sort of contact. So my front end's washed, he's spun, and then it's just the end of it. Completely out of any sort of points positions and he got sort of good position, I say. and then after that, I'm just looking at the incident now, and it's like the driver that was ahead of me, he's gone wide out of turn 1. Let me just speed up a bit. He's gone wide out of turn 1, rode all the way over the grass, and then spins in like turn 3, and just reverses onto the track. And I'm looking to the apex, and he's on like the entry of the corner, so I've just smashed into his rear end, and it's killed my engine. But it is what it is. Good race in the end.
Yeah, I was about to ask what happened about your engine, but you kind of just talked us through it.
Yeah, I'm not blaming him because he was having troubles with his car and keeping it under control, but it was an unfortunate incident, let's say.
Indeed. Ven, have you got any questions to our interviewees?
I was gonna ask Junie some stuff, but seems like she's left. And Ethan, you were second at one point in race 1, but then all the pace just seems to be went from that point. What are your comments on that? Did you get damage or something?
No, I wouldn't say it was that my pace went. It was just that all the drivers that had spun had pace compared to me because I was sort of in the sort of low 13s, high 12s, and I think my 12.5 was my fastest. And then Junie was talking to me, and it was like she had all par 1 lap was above a 11. So I think it was just the fact that I got lucky with keeping my car in one piece for half the race, and that the other drivers were struggling a bit, and so I think it was more luck than pace there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right, so I think that concludes our interviews today. We should head then to the commentary box and finish up the stream today. What a crazy race the two races have been. It just had everything that you would want. It just kind of melded all of the different divisions of motorsport together to combine one massive chaos.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it was definitely a lot of very good 2 races that we had today. I hope the stream enjoyed it. Unfortunately, not as many viewers as I would have hoped. Not that it's putting me off. It's just you would expect a lot more interest because of the race they were developing. But it is what it is. I'm hoping that a few people who have stayed and watched enjoy the races. And yeah, and I hope all of you have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you live in the world. And from me and Matt, I think we can say goodbye.
Indeed, we will be saying goodbye. Thank you again, Ven, for joining me here. Thank you to the drivers for racing. Thank you to organizers Cyanide Academy for hosting the series. And thank you to the viewers watching the stream. That is a goodbye from both of us. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.